Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Hiace Chopshop. This week, let's try and clean up a bit and get back in the shed. Alright, so I've spent probably a month trying to get this place organised. So what I need to do now is clean up the last of this dirt, move all this stuff, clean the back of the truck, move the Camry, move all that stuff, move all this stuff. So just need to try and clean up a bit, and then next week hopefully I can actually get back in the shed. So yesterday I did the last of the dirt, took that up to Chawny's place. Thanks heaps to Jackson for helping me load it up. Thanks heaps to Chawny and Max for letting me dump it there and helping me unload it. So super handy. Took a lot of days, but it's done. So now I need to just hose this off, make it all nice and clean, and then all the tools need to be cleaned away. And I've got a bunch of sheet metal and iron and stuff that needs to go away. Got to clean the trailer, got to clean these barrels. So I'm just going to get into it, move these guys, just going to get into it, try and clean up. Alright, the driveway is reasonably clean. It's not absolutely perfect. Trailer is clean. Truck is clean, or the tray anyway. Cleaned out the barrels and the buckets and the shovels and stuff. So I need to do the IBCs, and I'm going to turn those into firewood storage because Byron gave me a better idea. Check him out on YouTube. I'll put a thing here. But next, I need to swap the wheel nuts over on this Camry. I told you I'd do it. Good things come to those who wait, I guess. Chuck these wheel nuts on. Alright, so it's been a few days since I worked on the Camry and since I filmed the last bit of this episode, or the first bit of this episode. So I went to move the Camry and I fixed the fuel pump, as you would have seen in the last episode. Turned the car on, wouldn't start, wouldn't get any kind of crank, which means the immobilizer is actually still working. So it doesn't affect the fuel pump anymore, but it does affect the starter. So that's kind of cool. So I'm going to grab the immobilizer, which I didn't throw out luckily, and just press the button, start it as per normal. So this actually still does something, which is pretty cool. So obviously the fuel pump relay or some part of the connection in the immobilizer box for the fuel pump has actually died. So it's kind of cool that it still works. A little annoying, but still kind of cool. So now the back third brake light, apparently it wasn't working in one of my previous videos. And my mate Jackson pointed it out, and I have a light on the dashboard that says I have a tail light out or a light out, and I've been wondering what it was for months, so we reckon it might be this brake light. Alright, similar globe in, it's the same fitting type but a different size bulb, so I don't know which size this is, and that's the only one I've got that actually fits, so I'll give that a go, but it might pop it immediately. Alright, so that's the light I've been trying to find and diagnose, so we'll start the car and it will be off, and I'll touch the brakes and it may come back on. So it's off, touch the brakes, back on. Alright, so just for a quick comparison, I've chucked the old globe in. That one does not work. This one does work, obviously, the new one. I think it's too small and giving the wrong resistance to the sensor or the computer or whatever. So running through the options, so it's not on currently, I haven't touched anything. If I go to Parker's, it doesn't come on. If I go to headlights, it doesn't come on. If I turn those off, if I go to indicator, it doesn't come on. Go to indicate the other way, it doesn't come on. Try high beam, doesn't come on. The only way I can get it to come on is if I press the brake pedal. So I'm thinking it's one of the three brake lights. Given that that's the one that is the wrong size, I reckon it might be that one, but I've also changed the back ones out of the previous time, so maybe need to get all new ones for the back three. So this is frustrating. Alright, the next thing I'd like to do is get this Hiace out the way and get my trailer out of the way, because in the next week or two, month, whatever, I'd like to get that box out and into the shed. So I need to spin this guy around, hook the trailer up, rip the whole lot out, and I'll put it in the driveway with the other collection of cars. And then once that service tray is out, I'll put the Land Rover and the buggy down the side. So I'll grab a battery and we'll try and move the Hiace. Alright, with the Hiace and the trailer moved, now I can get this IBC around the back and load it back up again and sort out the back a bit better. And I can also get that service tray out and chuck it in the shed. So I'll do that shortly. For now, I'm just going to move the RVC and organise this a bit better, and then another day I will sort the service body out. Alright, I've had a quick clean up in here. Need to mop the floor, but that's fine. Got a new bed for Harley, which is a headboard off a bed, but that's fine. Some stuff to put in the garden shed, and then I've just started to go through my scrap and find some bits to make a gate. So I'm going to grab these bits and make a small gate for there, and then I can clad it and make sure it shuts and stuff. So when the fence is up, I'll have a nice little gate there. So I've got most of what I need. I'm going to need hinges, and I'm going to need a latch. I reckon I've got a latch somewhere. Somewhere being the operative word there. So I'm going to look for a latch, and then if I can't find that, I'll go get something from Bunnings, and I'll also get some hinges, and then I'll also get that globe for the Camry. So just trying to fit in what I can, where I can, while I've got a busy week. So I'll try and get into this tomorrow afternoon. Okay, I found the latch and I found some hinges. So these are obviously door hinges. They should work for the gate because it's only pretty light. So I'm not sure how I'm going to attach it to this corner, because if you come in here, this is the pole that I would like to attach it to. There's a good 75mm there. So I need to find some RHS that fits in there, and then screw the gate to the RHS and the RHS to the upright. So that'll be okay, but it's a bit of pain in the bum. I have to move toolboxes. But for now, what I'll do is I'll get the bandsaw out and I'll cut all the pieces that I've got to length, make sure I've got enough to make the gate, and then tomorrow I can weld it up, hopefully, and maybe try and get it installed. And get the globe for the Camry, mow the lawn again, and whippersnip it and stuff. Try and just smash out a bunch of little things. Alright, so just about to cut all these pieces to length. So the tin I've got, this one is 1750 long, and the pile over there is 1830 long. So I'm not sure if I've got enough of each, but if I start with the smaller stuff, work my way along, I can always cut a little bit off the longer stuff. I can't really add to these. So I'll make the gate 1700 tall, 50mm gap at the bottom. This will be 1750. The gate will probably be 1700, but 50mm off the ground, so it'll even out. So in saying that, let's mark these bits and cut them to length. So we know we want 1700 gate height, and the width is determined by the gap that I've got between the pole and the shed. So I'll mark this out and get cutting. And there we go, that's the rough outline of the gate. Now it's not square or trimmed or anything, so I'll leave it here for tonight, come back tomorrow, cut these uprights off obviously, and then there's a bolt and a piece of plate there that needs to come off. Clean up the ends and then tack them all together, get it nice and square, try it in place, and then fully weld it. So basic start, but got to try and do something. Alright, new globes. Let's see if this fixes the error light. So this is a T10. The one I took out was actually a T15, so got some T15s. Let's see if this turns the light off. Alright, turn the car on. Let's press the brake pedal. Globe is on. No error light. Give a few pumps. Nothing. Sweet. I think we fixed that problem. Thank you, Jackson. Alright, so I've got that warning light turned off, which is excellent. That back light was the culprit, so that's pretty sick. Everything on this is pretty much good to go. I need to look at the cooling system, but that's another day for another problem. Or another problem for another day, I should say. Let's get onto this back lawn and the front lawn, get it all tidied up, and then I'll go in the shed and start welding some stuff. So I'll just bust this out. Alright, finish the lawns. Not that you care. Let's get on with it. Let's try and clean up these corners and try and get some stuff welded together, or at least tacked together. And then probably leave it for tonight. And then tomorrow I can try and get some hinges mounted and try and get this thing in place. Alright, got all the pieces cleaned up. I've got the ends all sanded back, so there's nice and fresh metal there. So now what I need to do is just square all this up, tack some corners, get it nice and even corner to corner. Then flip it over, put some more tacks on that side, and then that's probably all I'll get done for tonight. But at least I'll have something to work with when I come home straight away tomorrow. Alright, so it's been about a week since I filmed anything. So I was finishing up the gate on the side of the shed, came home from work and felt crook, so I just stayed on the couch, and it's been pretty much a week. So I'm just feeling a little bit better now. Still don't feel great, but the truck is out of rego and I need to move the Camry and the Renault out the front, so I need to move these cars around. So that's my goal for today, is to move like 5 cars. But let's get into that, and then I can finish this episode off and you'll have something for this weekend, because I've missed 1 episode and I don't think I've ever missed 2 in a row, so I'm not going to be doing that to you. Number 1 moved, number 2 moved, 3 moved, 4 moved, 5 cars moved, 6 cars moved, I've lost count, 47 cars moved, 8 cars moved, 9 cars moved, 1 more to go, and 10 cars moved. Well, that's a whole lot nicer. Once the fence is up, you don't get to see any of this stuff, and then the truck's not going to live there forever, obviously, so that's pretty good. Alright, so that's genuinely all I have the energy to do for the rest of this episode. So unfortunately the gate's not going to get done this week. I will finish it as soon as I am better, but for now I'm going to go lay down again. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.